No diamonds?
I have a 2.
We all play the board. We play the board. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the vlog. It's been a really long time since I have actually made a video. I've been posting a couple times here and there that I would be posting something, and I never did. And so I apologize to all my subscribers who've been waiting for a video for almost a year now. It has been a while. I've had a couple of life updates. I've been traveling to do some work. I was actually in Houston for a few months doing a show there, and I haven't been able to actually play poker. Other times I actually have played poker while in this little hiatus of YouTube. But if you guys don't know, editing takes a long time. Even shooting footage and remembering to, write down hands and stuff. It's been a lot. But there's been a few updates that I've been going through. Related to the channel, number one, I stopped playing the 1-2 game at Commerce and really anywhere else. Because, 1-2 game with an $80 buy-in, that's only a few big blinds, not even 100 big blinds. With the rake being $7, does not do it, guys. So we stopped playing those games. We're now playing, it's a little bit better, but some 2-3 games, some 1-3 games here and there. We've been getting into 3-5 and 5-5, and so we're making some improvements. I'm hoping that through this vlog you'll see some improvements in the game. I know I'm not really quite there. To be honest, I've only played a handful of times since vlogging, and so happy to get back into it, and let's get into some hands. First things first, though, I do want to give a shout out to my guys at No Poker, No Life for sponsoring this video and sending over some cool merch. Go check them out, guys. I'll have a little bit of a promo in the middle of the video. But yeah, guys, sponsored video now. We're in it. Well, let's see how it goes. Alright, we hop into a 2-3 game, and looking around the table, looks like this is going to be a dry one, as most of the stacks are below the max buy-in, which is $200, and already I'm sensing we might not have too much action, and that some people are either playing really tight or kind of loose if they are rebuying. Anyways, the very first hand, we're at the cutoff, and we look down at a semi-premium hand. We look at King of Spades, Jack of Diamonds. The player to my right raises to $15. I'd like to 3-bet this since I'm in position with a pretty decent hand, but because I don't know how any of these players play, I'm just gonna make the call. The button folds, small blind makes the call, big blind folds, under the gun calls, and the early position player folds. So we go to the flop with 4 players. The flop comes Jack, 2, King, Rainbow. We drill top 2. It checks to the pre-flop aggressor, who then goes all in for $40. I'm not going anywhere, I make the call, and the small blind and under the gun fold. I ask if he has ace king, and he says he just has a king. The turn and river are pretty irrelevant when I show top 2 and he mucks his hand, so we take this one down. Now we're in the big blind. We look down at 3-5 offsuit. Not playable at all, but when it limps around to me, I'm seeing a free flop, so why fold? I check, and the flop comes good. It comes 5-5-6. We flop trips. The small blind checks. I'm just going to check here, don't see a point in opening with a raise, as I still don't know how tight some of these people are. The middle position player raises it to $11. Big blind makes the call, and I'm not going to check raise here to keep the small blind and middle position player betting, so I just make the call. We're now 3 ways to the turn. It comes out an ace. The small blind checks. I check to the raiser, and he bets $20. The button makes the call. I have trips, but hands like 2-3 get there, though unlikely my opponents would have a 3 since I have a 3, so I just make a call. The river comes another 6, so now my 5s are counterfeit if my opponent is carrying a 6. The middle position was taking the betting lead this whole round, so it's possible he could have a 6. The button was making calls, so maybe one of them were holding a 6. I can't do much other than just check, but it checks around, and we have the best hand, so we scoop a pot here. Action is slowing down at the table, not much money to be made as people are starting to tighten up. I'm now in the button, looking down at Queen 10 off. It limps to me, and when I'm on the button with a decent premium, I would normally raise here, but because of how slow the table is, even a min bet makes everyone fold. So I just bump it to a friendly $12. Small blind and big blind fold, under the gun calls, and early position folds. So we go heads up to a flop. Flop comes king, 10-4. I flop middle pair. The under the gun checks, I lower my c-bet to $10. He makes the call, and the turn comes a scary king. He checks and I check. He could have a weak king here, which is what I'm thinking, but we go to the river, and it comes to 7.
I have a 10.
He checks, and sure, I could raise here. I know he doesn't have a king since he would have bet, but I'm not sure what type of value bet I could make where he would call, so I just flip my hand over, and I'm good. Table runs dry for quite a while. I end up losing a straight over a straight, which knocked me down a bit, but anyways, we asked the floor for a table change, and after a good 10 hands, we finally moved to a more action-packed table. At a new table, and this one is one that I played wrong, but considering this is a new table for me, I'm going to forgive myself for it. We're in the cutoff looking down at pocket 8s, a favorite for most poker vloggers. There's a raise under the gun to $17. It folds to me, and I make the call. I guess I could raise here, but not knowing how the table operates just yet, I'm going to make a call. The button makes a call, small blind comes in, and the big blind as well, so we're 5 ways to the flop, which raises some alarm bells for me. The flop comes 2-8-5, small blind donks in for $25, big blind folds, the pre-flop aggressor just makes a call. Here I should be 3-betting, but hey, for some reason I don't, I just make a call. Button folds, so we're on the way to the turn. The turn comes a4. Small blind checks this time, and the undergun raises to $25. I have my set, so I'm bumping it to $50. Kind of small. Again, I don't know how anyone plays. The undergun can be coming in with some pocket pairs or overcards. Maybe coming in with a flop set, but mine beats hers. The small blind folds, and the undergun makes the call, so now we go to the river, which comes an unfortunate 3. The straight gets there just for having an ace, and I have a feeling that this person hit it. My guess at the time was she maybe had a weak ace coming in and flopped a pair, but now river's the straight. And my guess is correct when we both check it down, and she does have an ace. The ace 5. So we lose this one. Alright, now we go into kind of an odd hand where I follow my gut, and it pays off. I've now been at this table for about an hour and getting a decent read on things. I'm in the undergun position and look down at king queen off. I opens $15. Kind of small as an open, but that seems to be almost a standard open at this table. The player to my left calls, middle position, and cutoff fold, and this guy to the button raises to $60. Now, this raises alarm bells because in the hour or two that I've been there, he has played maybe 1 or 2 hands, and one hand that he raised pre-flop, he had kings, which he lost to a board pairing ace. So I know when he makes a raise like this, he has something pretty good. It folds to me, and I make the fold. I get it, it's kind of nitty, but this is where sitting at a table and making mental notes on your opponents pays off. The guy to my left goes all in, and the under the gun makes the call. Doesn't matter what the board runs out, I don't hit, but the under the gun shows pocket aces and wins the board. Sometimes you gotta just trust your gut, and this time it pays off. The very next hand is another odd one. I'm in the big blind and looks down at queen 9 of hearts. The under the gun limps in, and the middle position raises it to $15. Cutoff folds, button calls, small blind makes the call. I call, only $12 more, and the under the gun calls. So we're 5 ways to a flop. Flop comes jack 4-9. The small blind checks, I check, under the gun checks, pre-flop aggressor checks, and the button checks. So we go to the turn, and the turn comes the 10 of diamonds. Anyone with a diamond makes the flush. Even king queen makes a straight. I'm practically dead here and ready to just fold. But it checks around again, and the river comes another diamond. It checks around, and no one has a diamond, so we chop it 5 ways.
We all play the board?
No diamonds?
I have a 2.
We all play the board? We play the board.
I win! No, I know. Dang.
We hit a dry spell for about an hour until we find ourselves in the big blind with Ace-King offsuit. The early position player raises it to $15. It folds to the small blind who makes the call, and I just make the call here. I have no idea why I should be 3-betting here with Ace-King, so yeah, tell me in the comment section how bad I am. Anyways, the under the gun makes the call, so we're 4 ways to the flop. The flop comes King-9 Jack. I flop top pair with top kicker. Small blind checks. I check just because I'm out of position and planning to check raise in the case the pre-flop aggressor bets. Other the gun checks, and the pre-flop aggressor makes it to $20. Small blind calls, so now I'm 3-betting to 40. My bet sizing here sucks in hindsight, probably should make it to about $70 or higher with top pair top kicker, but it's all in the past now. Under the gun folds, middle position puts in $20 more, and so does the small blind. So now we're going 3 ways to the flop. Turn comes an 8, so hands like Queen 10 get there. Small blind checks. I make a check here, seeing if the middle position player would bet again. She doesn't, so we go to the river for free, which is a blank 4. Small blind just checks here, and with the check around at the turn, I feel good, so I push all in. It's not for much, since I only have $57 left, but the middle position player folds, and small blind calls. I tell him I have Ace-King, and he mucks, so we scoop a good one here. Alright, what's up guys? Just want to take a quick break to give a quick shout out to our sponsors for today's video, No Poker, No Life. They're a new clothing brand coming out in the poker industry with, fresh new poker gear from shirts, hats, joggers, hoodies, you name it. And as a special bonus for you really making it this far in this video, I am doing a giveaway with No Poker, No Life. The rules are stated in the description down below. Follow No Poker, No Life on Instagram. Follow me on my Instagram and click subscribe. And that's really all you have to do. We're picking a winner pretty soon after this video is released. And stay tuned, guys. We might have another giveaway coming up. For this giveaway, we are giving a pair of socks and a fresh t-shirt. So go ahead again, follow No Poker, No Life on Instagram. Follow me on Instagram and subscribe to the channel. All right, back to some hands. Alright, we hit a bit of a dry spell. Some players leave, some new ones come in, and we switch seats to seat 1. We're in the big blind and look down at Ace-8 of clubs. The middle position player makes it $10 and folds to me. I call, going 3 ways to a flop. Flop comes Ace-Jack 8. I flop 2 pair. I check, and early position player bets $12. Middle position player calls, and I'm going to call here. 3-bet is a better option, but that's why I record my hands, to see where I make my mistakes. Throw 3 ways to a turn, comes A6. I check, early position checks, and middle position puts in $21. Odd bet here, but I go ahead and call. Early position calls, and it goes to the river, which comes a 9. So either a 3 of a kind beats me, or a weird one like 10-7. I don't think she has a set here, but when she bets $25, I can't fold. So I call, and it shows that she indeed had 10-7. Sucks to suck out. 2 pair.
She got there, huh?
Later, I'm in position with the button and look down at King-Queen. All day today, I've been getting King-Queen and missing everything, so hopefully we turn it around. It's a straddle pot for $6, so I call here and let me know in the comment section that I need 3-bet, because why do I not 3-bet enough when I'm in position with good hands? Anyways, it's a family pot, and the flop comes King-Queen 7. It checks to the middle position player who makes $45. Folds to me, I have top 2 pair, a good raising position, and I make the call. It folds around, so now we're heads up. The turn comes with 4 of clubs. Middle position player has me covered and puts me all in. Sure, a set gets here, but I have King-Queen in my hand. It's unlikely she has any pocket pair of those. She'll have to beat me with 3 7s. Yeah, which is still possible, but with not much left, I can't fold. I make the call and go all in. River comes another spade, and I think she made her flush. But I flipped to show 2 pair, and I'm surprisingly good. Another rotation, and we're on the button looking down at King-Queen of diamonds. An interesting thing happens because the cutoff, who just won a big pot before this hand, he raises it to $10, which is the same thing he did when he had a premium pocket pair in the last hand. So I'm exercising some caution and making a call here. though 3 betting isn't bad. Only the big blind calls, so we go 3 ways to the flop, and it comes ace-7 deuce. It checks around to me, and when it checks around, I'm betting into the pot. I bet $25, and it scares everybody off, so we'll scoop a little bit.